guys, welcome back to Fiona's Food. I'm going to keep this intro short because I know the last few videos my intros have been longer than the actual recipes. So today I have made some scones. Scone is the correct pronunciation for anybody who is wrong about that. But yeah, so I've made some scones. Keep watching for the recipe. I just want to quickly say thank you to all the new subscribers because, you know, they keep growing and it's amazing. Thank you to all my old subscribers who are still here. I know I keep promising this every time and I'm going to say it again because there are new videos. I filmed 2 videos today, so there is going to be another one in the not too distant future. And yeah, thank you for everyone who is a member of the Fiona's Food community. But yeah, thanks so much, and here is the recipe for these yummy scones. The ingredients that you need for the scones are 200 grams of self-raising flour, 50 grams of unsalted butter, pinch of salt, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of milk, and then if you're making sweet scones, then 25 grams of caster sugar, but if you're making savoury ones, then you don't need the sugar, and then whatever you're putting in your scones. So I'm going to be making raisin scones, which I know a lot of people don't like. And in normal circumstances, like in anything else, I'm not a big raisin person, but for some reason in scones I really like them. But you can literally, maybe not literally, but almost literally put anything in these scones. Like any sort of fruit, chopped fruit, like chocolate or whatever you want. And then if you want to make savoury ones, you can put cheese or like bacon, ham. Genuinely, like the possibilities are endless. Step 1, we're going to add the flour, baking powder and salt into this bowl, and then we're going to add the butter using the rubbing technique, which sounds super gross, but I'll explain in a minute. So I'm going to put in my flour, half teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump the butter into the flour like so. And then using your like thumbs and first 2 fingers, you're literally going to sort of massage the butter into the flour. So describing the whole situation sounds a bit weird, but I'll show you guys. And the sort of, you're trying to get an almost breadcrumb consistency when you're doing it, but I'll show you and you can understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking about rubbing flour and butter. Okay, so this is one of those things that you need to get your hands dirty to do properly. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm sort of getting the butter and sort of rubbing the flour into it, or maybe rubbing the butter into the flour. So as you can see, it looks like breadcrumbs now. This is sort of where you want to get your flour butter combo to. The next thing I'm going to do is add your sort of extra ingredients. So I'm going to add the sugar and the raisins. So if you're adding like chocolate or cheese or whatever it is, now is when you're going to add them. So I've got my 25 grams of sugar and I've got my raisins. So when it comes to the quantity of your extra thing, it's really just down to you and how much you want to put in. I wouldn't put in more than say a cup's worth, just because you don't want A, you don't want them all to sink to the bottom, and B, you kind of want a good ratio of scone to whatever else. So I don't think I'm going to use all these. I'll probably put in about half and then see where we are, and then add more if need be. So that's about half a cup, I would say. I'm just going to get a spoon to mix them in. So I think maybe, I don't know, I don't want it to be too raisin heavy. Right, I think actually I'll leave it as is. It's better having not enough raisins than too many raisins. There's definitely a such thing as too many raisins. So I've put my egg into a jug and I'm just going to add the milk to that, and then we're going to whisk those together. So that's the 2 tablespoons of milk. And I'm just going to take a whisk and whisk it. So it doesn't have to be like super fluffy or anything like that. Like you really are just trying to make sure they're combined. that's really all it'll take. So the next thing to do is I'm going to start adding the egg milk combo to the dry mix, but I'm going to do it sort of a little at a time till I've got a sort of stiff dough, but not like super rock hard. So you want it to be a sort of soft but stiff dough, which I realise makes very little sense. I'm going to start adding it. So I'm going to use a spoon spatula thing, and I'll just add a little bit at a time. I'm just sort of stirring it in, and then things are going to start coming together. So once it starts sort of coming together a bit more, you can switch to using your hands, which I think I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to waste not, want not. Alright, so like I said earlier, this is definitely a recipe that involves getting your hands dirty. If you use your hands, you can sort of start bringing the dough together. You really don't want this to be too sticky, so don't be tempted to like use all the liquid because it's there. Like literally just use as much as you need, which is why, yeah, you add a little bit at a time, because if you were to dump it all in, you can't take the liquid out, but you can always add more. So I think my dough is ready now, because it's come together, and I feel like this is soft but stiff. Okay, now I'm going to roll out the dough. So I'll sprinkle some flour down on my counter, and I'm going to roll it till it's about sort of an inch thick, maybe slightly less. It just sort of depends on how thick and how big you like your scones. Like some people like sort of these massive mammoth ones, and then some people like little ones. So really it's up to you. I wouldn't do it any less than say 2 centimeters, but again, it's kind of up to you. So I'm going to roll mine out, and then I'm going to cut them using my cutters and put them on the tray. Here we go. So I think that's about maybe thinner than I originally planned, but again, like I said, it doesn't matter. So I think I'm going to go for these sort of medium-sized ones, but again, up to you. And you don't have to use this size or shape cutter. You can use whatever cutter you want. Right, I'm just going to cut them out and then lift them out afterwards. So once you've cut however many you can cut in your dough, then obviously you can then re-roll the leftover and make more. I'm just going to put these on my baking tray. So these scones are now ready to go into the oven. I've got 11, but some of mine are a bit fatter than others. So you can probably get about 12 out of this recipe. So these are going to go into the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. They don't take that long to do, so I'm just going to put them in and sort of see when they've gone golden brown on top, and that's when they're ready to come out. So it's been about 15 minutes, I've taken them out the oven, and here are my finished scones. I'm serving mine with some cream and jam, which is like the traditional, you know, English tea scone situation. But yeah, feel free to serve them how you like, eat them how you like, make them how you like. It's really one of the sort of most versatile and also really easy recipes. So please give them a go. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to share it with your friends if you want them to try this recipe and make these things for you, because that's really the best way to get other people to cook for you. Hint at them by sending them my video. Leave me a comment. I love reading everyone's comments. I respond to all the comments. If you haven't already, then click over here to subscribe to my channel, Fiona's Food. I don't post very often, so it's not going to bother you that much. So you know, you might as well. And if you would like to see my last video, then you can click over here. It is a Christmas video, but who doesn't love Christmas? So thank you for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.